going to look this up.
Uh-oh.
Because that's interesting.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
What is a boat driver called?
I guess it'd be a speedboat. What is a speedboat driver called? Boater? Driver? Pilot? Operator?
Yeah, because I feel like if I give it driver...
Speedboat operator.
Let's see. Motorboat operators operate small motor-driven boats. May assist. How do you become a motorboat operator? So I guess if it's a large ship, you're a captain. Or are you a captain?
Captain Morgan?
Could be.
I don't know.
It keeps coming up with motorboat operator. But like if you own a ship, fishing vessel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deadliest catch.
You're a captain.
Those are captains.
Yeah, they're captains. But I guess what I'm driving at is like in NASCAR, you're basically a driver, right? Because when they're racing, they're driving, so the person behind the wheel is a driver.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
If you're the boat owner and are driving the boat, it would be appropriate to be called captain. But other common names include skipper, pilot, sea captain, commander, or helmsman.
Helmsman.
I'm John.
I'm Craig.
Welcome back to ConBroSationalists,
where the points are made up and the games don't matter. Wait, is that right? Yeah.
I don't know. It sounded genius.
Yeah,
though.
we'll go with that one.
Yeah. Holy smokes, we're on fire today.
Yeah, well, that's a little takeoff of, I think it was Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Did you have a drink in between?
Yeah, I'm a little drunk.
You took a Quaalude or
Yeah,
whatever they're called.
Took something. No, I think that was Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because they always talk about where the points don't made up or... The points are made up and the things, whatever.
Yeah, Drew Carey.
Yeah, I think it's the scenes are made up and the points don't matter or something.
Something like that. No, yeah. It's like, Yeah.
Just
up your ass and to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one.
Yeah, good old Bingleberry.
Yeah. Bingleberry.
Yeah. That's the opposite of a Dingleberry.
Well, yeah. Well,
because it's up your butt to the left.
Oh.
That's where the Bingleberries hide.
How do you get... I don't even want to know.
So I heard you got some jokes.
I do. I don't know if anybody's ready for them. Cover your ears if you're younger than a
Earmuffs.
certain age.
Earmuffs.
What's the difference between a G-spot and a golf ball?
Nobody can hit either.
Well, a guy will actually search for a golf ball.
Oh. Yeah, I've lost a lot of golf balls.
Mm-hmm. I won't. What does the sign on an out-of-business brothel say?
I don't know.
Beat it, we're closed.
That's good. That's good.
I really want to say this one. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Here, I'll let you. Here.
You want me to?
Why don't you gander at number 3 there, and you tell me if the. It's probably not appropriate.
Oh, number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. How about no?
Yeah.
But the 4th one, yeah.
The 4th one.
The 4th one's good.
What's the difference between a tire and 365 used condoms? One's a Goodyear, The other's a great year.
That's right, buddy.
I keep getting older, and they stay the same age.
All right.
For those of you that don't know, that's from Dazed and Confused.
That's right, with Mr. Matthew McConaughey.
That's enough of those, sir.
That's enough. You started it, not me.
We do.
So,
Words don't matter this time.
yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Words don't matter.
Words
but
don't matter.
we're kind of on a roll.
What's in
so
this gum that you gave me? Holy shit.
I don't know. It's just normal, gum. It's
God.
I injected it with ludes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's about to get weird.
Well, it's
If the lights start and you hear a little bit of music coming on.
It's boots and pants and 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 boots and pants and.
If I wasn't so close to this table, I'd spin in circles.
So, all right, I think we're. Oh no!
Oh, it's not that type.
Yeah,
of
no. When
Yeah.
this ain't that kind of party.
That's the other content I make.
Yeah, that's right. That's for your OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Or-
I think that would be called One Fans.
well, I was gonna say your only fan.
It would just be me watching my own videos.
That's not weird at all.
I mean, yeah.
No.
One fan.
Yeah. No. You're singular fan. So,
So-
you reached into the sack last time.
Yeah.
Last time we.
And I blew on it.
Oh yeah, you did. And you liked it.
I did.
It was a great topic because it
Yeah.
went almost an hour, and we don't generally
know.
do that. So
I know.
that was a good topic. But
Never lasts an hour.
hooray for stamina.
Yeah.
So I think this time we're gonna do some philosophizing. And last time I rolled, so this time you get to roll on our
Good.
fancy schmancy little.
I feel like you're better at reading these. They don't even make sense when they leave my mouth. So.
Are you listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I mean, I tried to, but that last one that I read was it was a good topic.
Yeah, it was a great topic,
holy
but you
smokes.
struggle bust reading.
Oh, yeah, it was
whoa.
rough.
My microphone doing them. Everybody at the club get tipsy.
I think it goes something like that.
Yeah. So, all right. So, for if you're wondering what this little object is right here, this is actually part of the sound deadening that we're going to be using in here.
It's an intricate sound deadening device.
This is fancy, highfalutin sound deadening, but
I feel like philosophizing is just right up our alley.
yeah,
right now.
I think we're gonna knock this one out of the park.
Yeah.
But no, what this is this is a sound absorbing material. We were trying to do some stuff to kind of get rid of the curtain here, but like the material that I ordered, I ordered 4 packs of 12. I only got 1 pack of 12. So we're gonna make a little funny design behind this, but
there's a real struggle bus across the world
Yeah.
if you haven't noticed
Yeah.
on getting packages in a timely manner.
amazing is not so amazing.
Yeah,
And if you don't know what amazing is, it's Amazon.
yeah. There's
So-
other sites though too.
Yeah,
Just,
other
we're not
sites.
picking on you, Amazon.
No, I own your stock, so I have a vested
I
interest
might.
in it.
I have some Benjamin Franklin funds that could. No.
Are you confusing Franklin's with Moore and you bought paint?
No.
Oh, darn.
Some sort of mutual fund. That
Oh.
it's a conglomerate of tech companies and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
That usually does really well, is what I was told.
Except
Not last year.
Nope.
I have taken a huge hit on the small money that I finally tried to invest in my future.
Yeah. I noticed I missed a call from the same financial advisor that we share.
Let me spoil it for you. She's got bad news.
I'm probably sure.
But glass half full, sky's the limit now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
There's nowhere to go but up once you hit rock bottom. Just saying.
Yes, that is true.
So, all right.
You want me to roll?
Roll away.
I'm going to try to keep it on the pad.
Please, keep it on the pad. Ah, and he failed.
Yep.
And it is a 2.
2.
2 is the number.
To everybody.
2 is the
No.
number. Can you see that?
All I see is your fat finger.
What,
Oh,
this
it's
one?
between them. Yeah, it's between them. Sorry.
You got to read between the cheeks.
I was trying to read the number that was under your finger. And your fat ass fingers in the way.
No, it's that number.
It was, yeah.
Numero dos, which
Numero
is actually, in your case, it's number 97.
Ooh. Interesting.
So
2 equals 97, everybody.
yeah, well, according to this, it's that way.
We're all learning together.
I left my pen in the book over
Spit
there,
on it.
So. Please. All right, so
Nasty loogie over the top.
anyway, wow, my glasses are filthy. I need to clean up my outlook. But
We're all just going to act like that didn't happen.
thanks. I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
Luckily, this is OnlyFan. Because
because there's another one I think called Fansly.
Fansly?
Yeah, Fansly.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Mm.
I've heard about it.
Is that like the dark web side of?
No, I don't know why it was created. I think it's like everything else. Like people don't like the way that the monetization is on certain things, and somebody else creates one. Oh, look, it's a new bigger, better, shiny light bulb, and it's the same freaking.
It's like when everybody a while back started leaving Twitch to go to.
It's whatever the Xbox platform had.
Yeah, they were trying because Twitch you only get like 10 or 20% of the royalties from the content that you make, where this new platform was basically giving you
Mixer,
yeah, I think, and they were giving you like a large portion.
Well, they all kind of start out that way.
Well, yeah, they suck you in,
but then they end up stripping.
It's like
out.
when you get car insurance,
right?
Get a really good rate
until you have a wreck.
For the first couple years, you ain't even got to have a wreck, but then it just steadily climbs higher and higher and higher. It's like the yodeler on Price is Right.
It's so funny you mentioned that. Where I was trying to think of the name of that game where just getting pushed off a cliff, right? Yeah. I couldn't remember the name of the game, but I was like, I know it was Price is Right.
Yeah, and then you ask them, "Hey, I'm getting older.
How about a discount?
I'm giving you more insurance. Why is my insurance going up? Oh well, blah blah.
Because Texas can't afford to heat anything.
Yeah. Just continue to.
Welcome to the suck.
Yeah. Take me to the barrel races.
And you're the barrel?
I'm definitely the barrel.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
To the question. So, wow, this is terrible grammar. And I'm not making this up. This is how it was printed out. Is it be possible for humans to create something completely novel and new that is based on nothing that previously existed? Or is human creativity just rearranging and building on previous ideas?
This is exactly like that last one.
Like which one?
Is your past changing?
Is the prior
the atoms in your body?
Right.
Whatever long spiel that one was.
I could go back and read that one.
It's
right there.
That's very similar.
But what I was getting at was the grammar there were terrible.
No, it's terrible bad.
Is it be possible?
Is it be possible? I mean, could be a possible.
B, is it possible? I don't know. Que posible? Yo no sé.
Could be O negative O.
Negative type O?
Yeah, I think somebody
type O negative.
I think somebody was reading what type of blood they had while they were typing that.
Is it B positive?
Is it?
Yeah. Or is it A positive?
They had medical records came back. They were super excited that it is B positive.
I gotcha.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm believing, anyways. That's what I'm believing.
He's really not my brother-in-law.
No, I've never.
He's just some random.
How'd you get in here?
I pay the rent.
Oh. How'd I get in here? I've been living in the back for a while.
I was trying to figure that out.
In the office next door.
You had me stumped. I was like, I don't know how you got in here. You tell me.
I came through the ceiling tiles.
Oh.
It's not as warm up there, by the way.
I didn't think so.
Mm-mm.
It should be fairly warm though, because heat rises.
It does, but most of the offices aren't being used. So
Okay.
there's not much hotter, except for what we're...
Well, except for what we're spewing right here.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so do you want me to read the question again?
Yeah, because I lost that halfway through.
Okay, so it's 2 parts.
It is 2 parts.
So is it, I'm not even going to do the B.
No, you need
Is
to
it
drop that.
possible for humans to create something completely novel and new that is based on nothing that previously existed? Or is human creativity just rearranging and building on previous ideas?
Sweet baby Jay.
So can we come up with new hotness, or are we always just modifying old and busted to create a quasi new hotness? It sounds like what they're...
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about this earlier, right? Talking about different words for different meanings. Drip instead of whatever else.
Swagalicious.
Swag.
Right.
Whatever we used before that. It's kind of along the same lines. We're building on that. Jeez. You would hate to think that all the ideas have been used and now they're being bettered or worsened or builded upon, right?
Yeah, I don't know that we've reached kind of the end of novel concepts or novel ideas, right? I think the thing about being novel, right, is that it's new, and that most people are only going to reference this because of the novel coronavirus, right, that came out or 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, right? So they're going to reference that like these are unprecedented times and yada yada yada. But
in reality, it's not.
No, I mean coronaviruses have been around for a long time, right? But just this particular one was so much worse.
Which was a building block of
previous
one.
But I mean, viruses go to virus. They mutate. They do the things that they do.
They do virus.
Yep, viruses go to virus. But I think what's happening is that things are changing at such a rapid pace now that novel or new ideas probably tend to be forgotten about before they ever get brought to market. And I think
that's fair. How many terrible, like, building block ideas, or not terrible, could be good. But building block ideas didn't actually blow up big enough.
Yeah.
Where somebody stole that idea and now it's builded upon, but nobody knows that it was built upon.
Yeah. Well, and I think, again, you go back and look at, what cell phones were built on. Cell phones were built on technology that they used on the Apollo missions, right? It was all part of that grand scheme of things. So the federal government kind of has, I don't want to say they have the corner on the market when it comes to R&D, but they kind of do, because they have extremely deep pockets. They have unlimited funding for some of that stuff, where they can tuck some of the smartest people in the world away in a room. And they say, hey, look, you need to come up with blah, 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 and that's what they do. Right? Whereas in the open world, free world market, I don't know that can happen quick enough.
Yeah.
Right? Before somebody catches wind of what's going, because you can't really have anything like stupid secret anymore.
No.
Right? At some point, somebody's going to leak something.
Social media.
A hack's going to happen. Yeah. Something's going to get.
Hacker's going to hack.
Yeah. That's right. Hack the planet. But I mean, at some point, something's going to get released, whether on purpose or accidentally on purpose. It doesn't matter, right? Something's going to get out, and people are going to be like, "Well, what was that?" And then like, "Oh, well, I've kind of already been working on this thing, so now I have the better building block. I can build upon that, right? And then be the first to market."
But at that point, you were already building upon something. That's the hard part, right?
Right.
And how close do those building blocks have to be or not be to be considered a new idea or not?
True.
Right? Like drain snakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I work in the plumbing industry. Drain snakes. You know all about the big machines, all that stuff, right? But somebody eventually came up with that little dill that's like that long, right? That has the little like teeth on it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That will grab hair and things out of your drain that you don't have to call a $80, $100 an hour plumber, whatever that cost is. Is that a close enough building block that you can say, well, that wasn't an original idea because we've had these things forever?
You may have had them available in the industry, but not known to everybody, right? So, I mean, and again, I'm not saying not saying they're two completely different products, right? But I think what happens is that you see a lot of things that are so closely related that, that you can only reinvent the wheel so much before you have to come up with a wholly new idea.
Yeah.
But a lot of times people are like, we don't want to reinvent the wheel here. We just want to build a bigger, better mousetrap.
Yeah.
It's like move on.
Right? People a long time ago walking around the earth barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody eventually got tired. Probably was somebody that moved to around this area.
Tired of stepping in dinosaur crap.
Well, I was thinking more goat heads, but
well, that too.
Yeah.
Around here, yeah.
You get tired of it, you're going to find a way to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Make a shoe.
Yeah.
As haphazard as the originals probably were, now we've got a whole shoe house, full of different types, when you wear them, how you wear them.
Yeah.
All that. So that original shoe was the beginning idea.
Right.
So anything that you put on your foot now, is it considered a building block? So it's not a new idea?
I don't think it is. I think you're just at that point you're not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but you're improving upon the foundation that was there to build a better shoe, right?
See, this is.
But I don't know at what point becomes, like I think the next novel idea is probably going to be the first person to create light speed travel. Or to get to Mars in something faster than 6 months, right? They're going to build some sort of proton engine or whatever to get from A to B quicker, right?
What was that particle accelerator or whatever that they just smashed?
Are you talking about the Hadron Collider?
Yeah, that made
the one at CERN in France.
Yeah, which made
up new matter.
New matter that's like the ultimate energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but look at what it took to create that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I aren't going to go build that in our backyard, are we?
Or the artificial sun deal that they is in China.
They haven't seen about that
artificial sun, or they're trying to build. Yeah.
No, I hadn't heard about that.
Oh yeah. I go down some rabbit holes.
Apparently. He's not conspiracy theorist, I promise.
No. I mean, there are some things that you.
Oh yeah, I know.
That you really have to question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the Earth round or flat?
It's definitely round.
Okay.
I'm sorry. If you believe the Earth is flat, you're a moron. Capital M, as well as the rest of the letters.
Oron.
Because.
Yeah, no.
You can't fall off a flat surface and then go around it again.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And the only one that can do that is Superman, and he's mean when he's drunk.
Yeah. Not a nice guy.
Yeah.
He does bleed, though. Just in case you want to know.
What color does he bleed?
He bleeds his own blood. It's red.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just.
I'm not a Batman fan, but that was probably one of the most epic lines in a movie that I've ever heard. Do you bleed? And he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well,
only when he's near kryptonite, right? Or does he bleed
I don't know.
Does he bleed at any point?
Well, no, I think he bleeds. Right?
I don't know. I don't honestly remember because I don't know that I've seen Batman versus Superman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There are just some movies that just
always a good movie.
Don't strike a chord with me.
Oh yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of my favorites.
Like I tried to keep up with all the Marvel movies.
It's hard. They pump them out quick.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Like somebody
couldn't do it.
I saw the beginning of an article the other day that the MCU has already exploded into like way too many movies. They already know that it's just too many.
Yeah.
But yet
it's too hard to keep all the. So again, it's you got to have the cork board up and you got to have the strings connected with the thumbtacks
Could you
connected to
imagine
the
how big
photos
that
like you're
fucking
building.
wall is?
Yeah,
Corkboard string, all that.
yeah, ginormous. Like this is a fairly big wall. I think it'd have to be the warehouse wall back here, minimum, to put together all that shenanigans.
I mean, we might need by the end of it Great Wall of China.
Possibly. That's a lot of cannon.
It's
not cannon like, you're gonna like Civil War cannon, right? But
also not Nick Cannon.
Well, good point, sir. Good point.
Because he's got enough kids.
Yes.
To also, you would need a large corkboard to know all those names. And
Yes.
Ins and outs.
Yes.
I don't know why.
There's something there, but I'm just gonna leave that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I like the Superman versus Batman. I didn't watch it. Just didn't pique my interest. But if he can bleed, that means he can die.
Which he did.
Are we sure?
Well, he didn't. They brought him back, but
he didn't really die.
I guess it depends on the definition. I mean, if you get buried,
So he's not like Iron Man dead, right?
Iron Man's not dead.
Iron Man got snapped into oblivion, didn't he?
No, I refuse to believe that.
Spider-Man got snapped into oblivion.
He can be snapped away.
Oh, okay.
Not worried about
So
Spider-Man.
now I'm starting to see where the line of
Yes.
delineation
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And only Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man.
Oh, okay. Nobody else can be Iron Man?
If there's any other Iron Mans, they can snap away
Oh, okay.
till they prove themselves. But he's a beast.
All right. I'll allow it.
You're my boy, Robert.
Yeah.
Downey
You're my
Jr.
boy, Blue.
You're my boy.
So,
When you watch this, you'll know that I threw you a shout out.
yeah, Matt props to you. Hey, I'm not knocking
Yeah.
him. I'm not knocking him.
Not yet, anyways.
No, not yet. It's good.
Man.
Man, oh man. So yeah, I just again, I mean, will we really know a new novel idea until it like literally smacks us in the face? Probably not. Right? Like I don't know. You go around, you look at the stuff kind of in your surroundings, and you look at the day-to-day items that you have. If it's new, would it really make your life easier? Or I mean, is it going to be beneficial to you specifically?
I think it would have to be because I think the new ideas that come out are to try to solve a problem
Right.
that hasn't been solved yet.
Yeah.
Right. Tools are probably one of the biggest areas that you could look at on that, right? We're always trying to find a new way, a new tool to make something easier. We may have this gadget,
Right.
but if we could put it on an angle and I didn't have to wrench my wrist in a weird position,
Right.
solves a problem.
Yeah.
We use this building block to do it, but the tool industry is probably the biggest, like, offender of it. Not offender, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, because again, and I think that ties into probably more along the lines of like race cars, right? Because they're constantly coming up with new, and again, the only kind of race car stuff I know anything about is stock car racing.
Yeah.
Right. But that's because I think the Daytona 500 just happened or is happening.
It's happening this weekend.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, it would have to be. They
Yeah,
don't do yeah, it's on Sundays.
I kind of remember like it starts like
they
after
do, like,
the Super Bowl.
Truck version and all that stuff on Saturday usually, I think.
Yeah.
Busch Series
right.
or whatever. I've been out of the NASCAR game for quite a while.
Me too. But I just think of the NASCAR industry and race car industry, right? Because they're constantly trying to build a better mousetrap all the time because they're constantly chasing that top end speed.
Yeah.
Or in drag
get
cars,
32nd of a second on the next guy.
right?
Because sometimes that's all you need.
Right. Especially you're drag racing and you got a quarter mile and you're trying to get from here to here in the quickest time.
How do I get down track as fast as possible without actually just taking off into space.
Yeah, or putting it in the ditch.
Yeah.
And dismantling the car into bajillion pieces,
Yeah.
right?
Or boat.
Yeah, that's true.
And speedboats.
Yeah.
Which I think we talked about. Those things
I don't know if we've really had a conversation about speedboats, but
flying across the water, the top of the water.
yeah, no, that's nuts.
One little bump in the water, one ripple, and that thing's gone.
Yeah, that's why you have that. That's why you have a lot of them. I think are starting to use monocoque builds where it's a single piece, not the other phrase. But I think a lot of times that they're starting to build those where they're protecting the driver.
Yes.
Or are they technically drivers or are they pilots?
I don't know.
The person steering the thing. I don't know in a boat like that if they're a driver or they're pilots, but I think they're building the structure around them to basically dismantle and just you can have the singular piece, so that it surrounds and encompasses that person. So yeah,
I'm gonna look this up.
Because
that's interesting.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
What is a boat driver called?
I guess it'd be a speedboat. What is a speedboat driver called? Boater? Driver? Pilot? Operator?
Yeah, because I feel like if I give it driver.
Speedboat operator.
Let's see. Motorboat operators operate small motor-driven boats. May assist. How do you become a motorboat operator? So I guess if it's a large ship, you're a captain. Or are you a captain?
Captain Morgan?
Could be.
I don't know.
It keeps coming up with motorboat operator. But like if you own a ship, fishing vessel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deadliest catch.
You're a captain.
Those are captains.
Yeah, they're captains. But I guess what I'm driving at is like in NASCAR, you're basically a driver, right? Because when they're racing, they're driving, so the person behind the wheel is a driver.
Okay. If you're the boat owner and are driving the boat, it would be appropriate to be called captain. But other common names include skipper, pilot, sea captain, commander, or helmsman.
Helmsman.
Call boat driver. Oh. Yeah, and it's on a couple different things.
See, I feel like in this context, I feel like pilot is.
You're
I feel like pilot. Yeah.
You're 100% pilot, but that's actually a good little tidbit there.
Yeah.
I mean, not every boat owner driver is a captain,
Right.
but not necessarily always called the same.
Yes. If you're
driving fast,
unless you're Captain Phillips,
yes,
then that dude's the captain.
I am the captain. He told everybody.
Yeah, I'm the captain now.
I am the captain.
This your
Wait,
boat?
that wasn't Captain Phillips though.
Yeah,
that said that.
I think no.
That was the pirate.
Yeah, it was the pirate that said that,
Yeah.
but not Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
I was just making the reference to Captain Phillips, the movie.
Yeah.
Because that pirate is the one that said that.
Yeah.
Is this your boat? I am the pilot now.
Yeah, I'm the captain. Depending on, I guess, how fast you're going, you may or may not be a pilot. Fair? Because are you going to call Deadliest Catch boat operator a pilot?
No.
Speedboat?
Yes.
Speed.
And now, hold on a second.
Here we go.
Hold on a second.
Bring it to me. Bring it home.
Because in the Deadliest Catch, if you catch a rogue wave, you could be a pilot for that long because your boat could become airborne off a rogue wave.
But the speed isn't increasing.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, I mean, it could be.
That's a whole lot of weight to move
I
around,
still
though.
feel like you're a captain, though.
No, I agree. But I'm just,
And I feel like if you're a sailboater, you're a helmsman.
Yes. Or I believe in if you're racing, I believe those guys are called coxswains.
Well, see,
not to be confused with something else, but
funny thing about cox. I'm not gonna.
yeah,
I won't do it.
Yeah. But anyway,
This should have been a boating episode.
I know, right? This should have been boating rather than what we got. But hey,
Yeah.
this
is what we do.
Yeah,
We get good ideas.
We
and
never
we
focus on a tangent.
No.
Oh wait, yeah, we do. We focus on tangents, never on the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This really opened my eyes.
Yeah. Not that they weren't open
Yeah.
before, but
That's crazy. Huh.
yeah.
We learned something.
Yeah.
Or didn't, actually.
Well, it was kind of
interpretive.
Yeah, it's just kind of like
like a
everything else. It was
dance.
clear as mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the dance show.
Yeah.
It's interpretive.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. So
are those new ideas?
I don't think they're
Or
new.
did we build upon them?
I think they've been built upon. Right? Like I can't even think of a new idea right now that's not probably
know.
founded in something else.
I know. I've been thinking this whole time, like trying to think of remotely anything.
So hold on, I'll take this back. So on YouTube, right? You can get caught in these rabbit holes, right? You get caught in tangents.
That's where we're at, by the way.
Yeah, we get caught in tangents a lot. But one of the things that I've been watching is the amount of waste that we have on the planet, right? And
we're very trashy.
Yeah, and some of the things that they do with those. And so
think I know where you're going with
one of the novel ideas that has come up is taking glass and repurposing it for beach sand.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of erosion that's happening in coastal areas because of I don't want to say tornadoes, but they can be tornadoes, but most of the time it's hurricanes, earthquakes, and you've got tsunamis that do all this stuff. But there's
and to be fair, some of the erosion is our own fault because some of these beaches and stuff weren't there until we built them.
Yes.
Like,
well,
in case you didn't know,
Manhattan.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, Manhattan, that was man-made.
Yeah, and basically it was built on floating trash.
Yeah, you go to like Waikiki Beach, that's man-made. Well, not to say that all of it was, but the fact that you can walk out a couple hundred yards and not ever get any deeper, and like you talk to people there, I think we asked somebody why you don't see too many seashells. They're literally bringing in boatloads of sand, and just dumping it. And as it erodes away, they get more sand and dump more sand.
Yeah.
So
it's constantly this rebuild and deploy kind of thing. But what I was watching was that this gal and her boyfriend in college were trying to figure out a way to, because they do have the hurricanes and all that stuff, and they do have a finite amount of sand, was to repurpose another thing. So is it technically a novel idea? I think that's a novel idea based on a existing
product
building block that was already there. They're just using a product in a completely different way that was never thought of before.
I'll give you another one then. Same idea, and I can't remember where it's being done, but people were using plastic and making giant blocks of plastic or whatever from recycled plastic and building houses.
Okay, so there is
I can't remember where it's at, but they're reusing the trash in the area to basically build homes.
Yeah, there's a gal in Nigeria, I think, that started, and you could, this is easily searchable on YouTube, but she is using a way to use glass and plastic and
To make glass
sand.
stick?
No.
Oh.
No, but it's to
We're onto something.
that's a great idea though. I like that. It's glass, plastic, and sand, I believe, to build a brick to replace asphalt. Because as asphalt ages, right, it releases toxins, right?
Yeah.
It's all this
It's made with tar.
harmful stuff that's
Yeah.
for the environment and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Not that plastic is great.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you can see it after it rains and stuff. Sometimes it looks like soap suds almost, like against the curbs and
Yeah.
stuff. And that's, I assume, the chemicals out
that's
of the
just
tar.
crop coming out
Yeah,
of the asphalt.
and then you see
yeah.
birds drinking it, and then you see birds fall out of the sky.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of people right now, and again, I spent probably the better part of the last 2 weeks kind of down this rabbit hole of looking at these like different ways that they could repurpose these things, and I'm thinking the entire time I'm like, man, we need more of that, because if you look at what's happening in like Indonesia, if you look at what's happening in India, right? You look at some of these third world countries that struggle to do anything for anybody. You look at like the vast majority of the world's waste. Where does it go? It goes to these places.
Yeah.
Right. So you look at, I believe it's Accra, which is in Ghana. They wind up with a lot of e-waste down there. And you've got guys down there that are basically, they're called the burner boys. And I watched a documentary on a guy. He's English. I can't remember. I don't know if he did it for the BBC or something like that. But he basically, he's from Ghana, so he's Ghanaian.
In case you didn't know, BBC stands for
British Broadcasting Company.
Oh.
Not what he thought.
Sorry.
Big burly creature. But anyway, what he did is he basically like gave up creature comforts for a week. He went like shacked up with these guys down there because they don't live in like legit houses like we have. There's two separate sides of this river. Neither side is done very well, right? So they're not living high off the hog by any stretch of the imagination. But I think the money that they use down there is called CDs, CEDI, something like that. And these burner boys are basically taking all the crap that comes from the e-waste, and they're burning off the plastic to get to the bare copper so that they can sell the bare copper to make 40, 50 CDs, which is literally a couple bucks a day. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing. Right? And so it's incredibly wasteful on us as humans, right? And we worry about, the novel concepts of global warming, whatever. I believe in climate change. I think we're doing things that are creating and making the earth to do things that it shouldn't be doing because it's trying to heal itself from the infection known as man, right?
Sure.
So, but these guys are doing whatever they can to survive. So if they could figure out a novel way to deal with that e-waste and all that kind of stuff down there, then that's kind of where money and focus and resources need to be. And a lot of these companies are doing things like one of the, what do you think the most egregious waste is? What would you think?
Outside of money?
Yeah, good point. Very good point, my good sir. But yeah, what's the most wasteful product we use?
Like an overall, like petroleum, or
any
or finite, like down, like smaller than that.
But no, just any product.
I have no idea.
Clothes.
Oh, fair.
And one of them, and one of the things that I was looking at was, again, because of my wife's side hustle, and one of the kind of her main bread and butter things is to repurpose clothes. And with that, like I started looking at because what happened is it used to be like the fashion industry would have an annual like lineup or whatever, and then the new model year would come out, and then they would sell, like this is fall clothes, or this is winter clothes, or this is spring or summer or whatever. But now that life cycle has gotten shortened. So by the time a product hits the shelf, it's already outdated.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a lot like computer technology.
That's what I was fixing to say.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with the clothes. So they've created this false market. I don't want to say false. It's this rush to get the latest and greatest thing.
It's the here and now.
Right. It's that immediacy, right? Like that sense of urgency. Gone
tomorrow.
Right.
Literally.
So what happens is these clothing manufacturers make tons and tons of products that may or may not sell. And what doesn't sell winds up getting sold in these third market, these third world markets.
Yeah. Wholesaled off.
Yeah. By the ton.
Yeah.
And one of them was, again, it was down the same rabbit hole of looking at all this waste that's going on. That this one kind of market in, I want to say it's Nigeria, but don't hold me to that. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. But they basically get bales, these giant ass bales in that weigh several hundred pounds, shipped in almost weekly. And so when you go and donate your clothes to Goodwill or whatever else, they have a finite shelf life, and then they at some point get recycled. Those clothes have to go somewhere, and where do they go? These third world countries who have no regulations on pollution or any of that.
It's like when you trade in a vehicle.
Yes.
If it's not in a timestamp that they know that they can sell on the lot, it usually gets auctioned off and sent to Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
Because down there it has more street value than it does up here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So it's just kind of this
thing.
vicious cycle. So in that novel idea, it would be great for somebody to come up with an idea of, hey, we really need to stop all this freaking waste, figure out a better way to process this stuff. Because there's two products that kind of were an absolute terror on humankind. One of them is plastics. The other one is styrofoam. Yeah. Because neither one of them have,
Yeah, they don't break.
They don't break down. It could be hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So centuries and millennia on, our ancestors or whoever comes in after us.
Yeah.
Right, are gonna find like plastic forks stuck in weird places and be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
What is this product? Oh,
how many times have you been out somewhere random, right, and you kick up like an old, and it may not be 7-Up, but like an old 7-Up bottle.
Right.
I'm just thinking it seems like you always find like random green plastic bottles out in the middle of
freaking nowhere. Yeah. It's all over the place. And I know I kind of got on a tangent about waste, but that's where I really think the novel ideas have to come into.
Yeah.
Is they have to be able to handle this because
life-changing.
Yes. Because
honestly, because if we don't have it.
Yeah, we only go around life on this planet once, right? And do we want to continue to leave behind a giant cesspool for, our legacy, which is our kids and our grandkids? Do we want to leave a cesspool for them so it doesn't wind up? And if you've never seen Idiocracy, like right now is the time that I'm gonna put in a call out and tell you guys, go watch Idiocracy.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you see the giant piles of trash that they have in Idiocracy, right? That's where some novel idea has to come into play. Is that right there? They have to figure out a way to process the crap that's on the planet now and create a better tomorrow. Because again, we're not doing any favors by continuing to do the things that we're doing now. And I'm not saying electric vehicles is the way to go. I'm not saying that, because they have their own damage that they do, especially
electric
if they
vehicles, in my opinion, are terrible. It's not the answer.
Especially if they use lithium-based batteries, right?
If you haven't seen what a lithium mine looks like.
Yeah. Do your research and go watch a handful of documentaries on it.
To me, it doesn't seem like it's any better than oil.
I'm not saying petroleum is the end all be all. I'm not saying that's the question. No. I don't know. And again, this is a debate for another time.
That's the new idea that we need.
Yeah, that's the new idea.
To make a feasible way to use ideas that are already out there for it.
Right.
Right. That have been shot down at least a few times.
Yeah. Again, because We can't continue to harvest fossil fuels at the rate that we're doing them because I watched fuel prices jump literally 50 cents overnight for what?
Yeah.
Like why? So
somebody has to meet their quota.
Yeah, so the oil companies can have even more earth-shattering, record-breaking profits.
Exactly.
In this particular quarter.
Hey, I've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I've got a budget every year that I have to hit, and no matter
by hook or by crook, you got to get there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the economy is or anything like that. I'm getting another 10 to 12% on, and guess what? When you don't meet that 10 to 12%, I may not lose my job.
But somebody in your staff will.
Yeah, somebody could lose their job, or prices on materials go up, or whatever has to be done to say, hey, Mr. Shareholder, we're still making the same amount or more money every year.
Right.
And the oil industry is not any different.
No.
They've got people that are spending millions of dollars buying shares of their company, and if they don't meet the sales that they had the previous year, guess what? Well, we're going to make the small guys and everybody else pay because we're going to raise prices to make sure that we do hit that mark.
Yep.
It's a little easier to do in the oil industry because today we have to have it.
Yes.
We can't stop traveling.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody thinks, it's the only thing
it's not a light switch.
Yeah, well, right, and everybody thinks it's only involved in transportation. That's not. The petroleum industry is in everything.
Yeah.
You have plastic on you, petroleum. You use chapstick, petroleum. You have, this laptop, petroleum. Yeah. These cables, petroleum. This dice, petroleum. This pad, petroleum. Like everything that you see within the vicinity of this is petroleum-based, right? So the minute that petroleum-based became kind of the standard by which we did everything, it created and again, I don't think anybody probably had the foresight to understand what
we were doing,
right? The environmental impact it would have.
Yeah.
But again, they started making the switch, and they did see some of this in the 70s when everybody started making plastics and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, hippies, but some of the environmentalists saw it, right? And the long-term impacts we can reverse them, but we got to start now, right? And that's where these new novel ideas have to come from is how to fix those things.
Question.
I got an answer. Whether it's right or not, that's
Do you think population in general or things like social media have exacerbated the trying to think of how to say this, have catapulted the just so quick to use and get rid of way of life that we live in?
I think it's probably a combination of both. I think we live, and again, I'm just going to look at the American society and the American culture because I can't really put my foot on anything else.
You hear things, but you're not there. You can't.
Right. So in the American culture, a lot of what we do is immediate based. We don't want to wait for anything.
Yeah.
Even a good meal, if it takes longer than 30 minutes, people are getting antsy. They're getting pissed off, right? They're not willing to wait for anything. So because of that, I think the drive to meet that immediacy, that immediate satisfaction, has been driven by population and social media because look what I got, and here's the photo of it.
See?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's that thing, right? Because I'm thinking while we're talking about all this, we had a washer and dryer whenever I was growing up that seemed to last forever.
Forever, right? Yeah.
Today, those same washer and dryers,
5 years.
5 years, yeah, and you're either changing parts or buying a new one.
Yep.
And it's easy for us today.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, right, because it's money, and if you don't have the money, then you're struggling.
Right.
You're going to the laundromat, or you're doing whatever you have to do until you can get up the money. But you're like, oh, get rid of it, on to the next one, right? I'm looking at new vehicles. I can keep my truck now for at least a couple years, but I already want the new one.
Yeah.
Like, we are just so programmed today that, I've got the 40-inch TV.
It's outlived its usefulness. Time
Yeah.
to buy a new one.
Yeah.
Because
And-
new is always better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think then the quality of the product has gone down because they know that you're going to want the new one in a year, 2 years?
I think it's self-induced quality control. My gut feeling is I think they started using inferior products to create this false sense of, hey, this is a top of the line, top notch product. When really the vast majority of things are disposable.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we've created. Back into and again, I'm going to go kind of old school on you here and talk about VCRs, right? So you look at these, like when I was a kid, VCRs were the shit. If you had a VCR, man, you were fancy. Yeah. Hey, paisan, hey,
Yeah.
you got a money, right? The first VCR my dad ever bought, I remember him telling me, dude, it was like $1,000. And this is in the 80s. This is in the early 80s.
Wild.
Right? It's crazy. And then it got to the point by like the mid to late 80s, early 90s, like they were basically disposable. The tracking would get off. It would start eating tapes.
The belt, the little rubber band.
Yeah, the
inside
rubber band would bust. Right.
I remember that
yeah.
we had to replace the rubber band on ours a couple
Yeah.
times. And it was kind of one of those things like you just hope that you found the right one.
Right. Or you figured out some way to like cut it and squeeze it tight together to get the gears to turn, right?
Literally.
But they literally got to a point where you could just throw them away and go buy a new one for like $100. They created, it's cheaper to buy a new one than it is to fix it. It's a lot with what's happened to TVs, and I'm pointing at the monitor that we have here. So if you see us looking up here, sometimes we're looking at the monitor to make sure stuff's still working in frame and all that kind of stuff. But that, you know how old that TV is?
5 years.
That TV is 14 years old. I bought that brand new in 2009.
Wow.
That was the same year we bought the house in Artesia.
I was going to say that's got to be like one of the
That's when we bought the house in
close
Artesia.
to original, actually like flat screen.
It's not this super thin
that
bezel.
aren't
65
projection style.
Not projection.
Yeah.
Right, but it still works. It still looks freaking fantastic. And if it ever dies, like it's outlived its livelihood, right? Like
you've definitely got your money out.
Yeah, I've definitely got it.
Yeah.
But in most of this stuff now, because there's not really any new ideas, all they're doing is they're upping the ante
perfecting what they're already doing.
Yeah. And so what are the TVs doing now? They're becoming thinner. They're becoming lighter. They've got different screens. They've got OLED. They've got Super OLED.
Yeah.
They've got AMOLED, OLED, right? They've got all this stuff to make it. And really, there's only so much the human eye can catch on all that stuff.
Yeah.
At some point, you're just like, okay, that looks pretty.
Yeah.
But I don't see a difference.
Yeah.
But again, it's not these novel new ideas. Okay, that's fine. If you want to impress me, stop making it out of plastic. Make it out of some other material that if I have to go get rid of that thing, I can rip the electronic guts out. We can repurpose the electronics inside, and then that can go into a compost heap and basically go back into the earth. But it's not going to happen.
Plant-based TVs.
Yeah, because the plastic is wicked cheap, and it lasts forever until it breaks.
Yeah.
And you look at 90% of the new cars now. What is it? Plastic.
Yeah.
They're not made out of metal anymore. And that's
Not
and again,
not the metal that they used to be.
No, not like because it's all about fuel efficiency.
You've got to have so much. You've got to have so much metal on there for safety.
Right, you have to have crumple zones and safety zones. Right, yeah.
You take our trucks today and park them next to my dad's old 73 GMC.
Oh, right, yeah.
That thing.
Your dad's truck was a tank compared to these
Yeah,
things.
you get hit by that truck, it's going to hurt a lot worse than my truck today.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit before,
Yeah.
About just the impact and difference in gas mileage and so on and so forth. So,
but
it just.
I feel like we could talk about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How wasteful we are.
Oh, it's
and what has added to it.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. And again, it's it's on point, but it's another topic, right? Of just the sheer amount of waste that's out there, and a lot of it, I bet you didn't even know what happens with those products as they leave. You know, you think you're going to get them recycled, and come to find out, recycling is a giant ass scam itself.
It is,
because less than 10% of the shit you buy can actually be recycled.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I was just watching a thing on that, like, because it has to do with the numbers that are on them,
right?
Like what was actually went into the recycling or something, like, and it's just like, wait a minute,
that whole system. And one of these episodes that I watched in the documentary talks about that whole never-ending cycle of the arrows, and the numbers that are in there, and what can get recycled and what can't.
Yeah,
it's absolutely stupid.
Yeah,
absolutely stupid.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember seeing something. It's a short thing about it, and I don't even know how long it's been, but I do remember seeing something like that. Like, how it's just a giant.
I don't want to say it's a scam, because it's not quite a scam, but it's borderline scamish.
Yeah, it's doing good. It's like giving back, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to do what you can. Unfortunately, it does never seem like it's as much as you would like.
Right, and a lot of it has to come back with, you know, the whole recycle thing is that,
in today's world,
I don't have anything in here to show you, but
in today's world, the technology that we have, right, you figure that recycling would be a lot higher.
Right.
The 10%.
Yeah. I mean, and again, you look at all the precious metals on the earth. There is a finite supply.
You wouldn't think it, right? Shows like Gold Rush and stuff like that, which I love watching. But at the end of the day,
but look
once you rip all that gold out of the ground,
look at the extremes you're having to go to find it.
Yeah, and it's not being made as like remaking itself as pretty soon everything's going to be man-made.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be, right? Because the precious metals are going to run out. The fossil fuels are going to run out. As much as there's plenty. Well, there is, but when you pull that stuff out of the earth, does it replenish itself? Do we know? I don't.
And how long?
Right, and how long does it take before it comes back?
Like if I go drill oil well, right, we cap it off because we're not getting the performance out of it that we want. It's costing more money to run than what we're getting back, or not a big enough profit, so we cap it off.
Yeah.
Do you go back 50 years later and the well's full again?
I because I don't own a well, I can't tell you.
Or if we've fracked and filled that hole with
frack sand and concrete.
Yeah, whatever that mixture is, the slurry.
Yep.
And the oil starts coming back, where does it go?
In the instances that I'm aware of, right? That oil will find other pockets to fill, other voids to fill, right? But again, I'm not a fracker. I don't deal with any of that. That's just kind of some of the cursory and ancillary conversations I've had with the guys that did do that years ago when I was working in the oil field, right? And so it's there's a lot of different things that they do to generate. I don't want to say false concern, but they figure out ways to make it appear like we're in more dire straits than we really are.
Yeah.
Right. But it's and again, I kind of think we got off on a tangent.
Yeah, we did. 100%.
But it's fantastic, right? Because these are things that people need to know about
and think about.
Yeah, and think about, because at the end of the day, again,
we're not going to make a difference.
Yeah,
unfortunately, probably
no,
we are probably not making a difference.
But if we start the ConBroSation to make the difference,
bingo,
right? Then
y'all,
then it's y'all, right? Like it's like we're here to have the conversations about it. And figure out hey, again, I'm just now I'm a dirty old man, but I'm just one guy kind of trying to figure this stuff out as I mold my way through the last quarter century or whatever else I got left, right? And so because again, it was just one of those things. I got off on a tangent. I started down this rabbit hole, and I'm like, man, there is a lot of crap out there.
Yeah.
That some of these novel new ideas, I think, could solve some of these issues, but I just don't think there's enough of the collective brain power on the planet Earth focusing on these things. I think they're looking at the bigger. I think the bigger picture is they're looking at the way to make the most money in the quickest pass.
I think
The quickest pass.
When I think space exploration has been one of our biggest, like that's what everybody's searching for, right?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think people today, people with the money, would be more willing to find a way to live on another planet
than to fix the one
here, because I don't know if the cost to fix the planet you would ever gain your money back. You would have to want to do it because you care.
Right. Well, and again, all it takes is one person, right? So I've talked about a couple, but the last one I want to kind of just highlight on, and if you want to go like YouTube it, you can. But there's a kid that basically he's trying to clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch on his own by these giant ass like booms.
Oh yeah.
That come out, and these self-contained like robots that are doing the things, right? So that's a novel idea, because I don't think anybody had ever even considered trying to take care of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Well, I think it's one of those things, to add on it just real quick. It's somebody that doesn't know what money does in the world yet.
Mm-hmm.
That has to come up with that idea,
right?
Because they're not looking at like, okay, I can get rich off of this. They're looking at like, he probably wanted to go swim and got tired of swimming in trash, and it's like, what can we do to fix this?
Right. This can't be healthy, right?
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
It can't be healthy. He looks at it as adolescent level and says, how do we clean it up?
Yeah. So, I mean, along that same vein, right, like you talk about somebody whose money is kind of irrelevant to him, Mr. Beast. I don't know if you watch any of his videos, but that dude spends more money on his videos than anything else. But he also has like Mr. Beast Gaming, Mr. Beast Reacts, Mr. Beast Philanthropy. His name's Jimmy. I don't know his last name, but he's
the Beast.
Yeah, just call him Mr. Beast. But he's got, basically he spends an inordinate amount of money on his videos to make. And if you look at all of his videos, they're incredibly popular, right? And he's got, I don't know, 250 million subscribers. We could probably look at it.
I was going to say, Mr. Beast, throw some of those.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, he basically, all the point of his video is to make the best video he can. But he has the philanthropy side that he's doing some of these other things like we've been talking about, right? But to him, money is irrelevant, right? Like he makes these videos that cost millions of dollars, and he's financed multiple times his own house, his own cars, right? To make sure that he made the best video he could possibly make.
Interesting.
But his mindset is that the money doesn't matter, right? And unfortunately we live in a society where that's not the case.
No, especially for me and you.
Yeah. It's not the case,
Me and you and our surrounding families and whatnot, unfortunately money does matter.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to have, a roof over our head and food in our bellies.
I mean, it takes us every few weeks to get together and do this.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and I don't think that's necessarily money restrictive, right?
Yeah,
I think
and time.
That's just time. Yeah. We just don't have the time because we're, again, 200 miles away. So, but we've got an idea that on how to fix some of these things. So we're working on that. And if this doesn't work this way, then we have, we can make it remote.
Start looking at other ways.
Yeah, but we're going to continue. We're going to continue to do what we can in the time frame that we have, and do the we're going to do the damn thing. At one point,
I thought you were going to give up on it, and I was fixing to throw it in.
No, we're gonna do this damn thing. So
yeah.
But like I told you about on LinkedIn, my company put out that thing about. So again, sing your song, leave your mark, make it matter, and that's what I want to leave you with is making it matter.
Thanks for joining us.
Sorry we went on so long, but this was that. I don't know if you could tell, but this is something that's kind of one of my new passions.
And this is
trying to figure out how to like fix the earth, right?
And this is what ConBroSationalists is about,
right?
At the end of the day,
absolutely.
Diamond Dogs.
There we go, Diamond Dogs.
Little Ted Lasso plug.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great.
Has nothing to do with anything we talked about today,
But it's Ted Lasso is all about soccer, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You'll love it. Trust me.
I'm John.
I'm Craig.
Peace.
See you in the next one.